Hello and welcome to yet another session on Inspo Vibes with SK. The last video we spoke about mental clutter, which deals with almost 40,000 thoughts and how they create a confusion in our minds. Today we're going to talk about emotional clutter, which has to do with feelings, how the feelings trigger variety of emotions, and those emotions create such a clutter in our inside of us that it then starts to impact our relationships and often holding us back into unfulfilled relationships. So interested? So let's start by understanding what is emotional clutter. Right? So emotional clutter is basically a whole jumble and mess of emotions or feelings that we have inside of us. Now, where do these feelings and emotions become a clutter? When we have too many feelings about what others think of us, we have too many emotions and we give too much importance to what others are reacting to us, what kind of contribution are they making in a relationship, and when we start putting their liking of us, their acknowledgement of us, their appreciation of what we do before our own self, it leads to a kind of emotional clutter. Right? Most of the time, we in a relationship, we end up sacrificing so that we can bring happiness, we can show the other person that we care. But it's okay till the time you are sacrificing of your own free will. It's great, it's superb, there's nothing wrong. The problem or the clutter begins when we start expecting some sort of appreciation, gratification, some sort of acknowledgement for the sacrifices that we make. Now let's look one step deeper and see, why do we sacrifice? We sacrifice some things for the people that we love or the relationships that matter to us when we want to bring happiness to the other person. Let's say, for example, I love going for a morning walk. However, if my children need to go to school at the same time and I cannot manage both because I need also those many hours of sleep, so I say, okay, I will not go for a walk. I will use that time to cook food for them in the kitchen. So that's my sacrifice because I want my children to have fresh home cooked food which I am cooking for them. However, when I start expecting from them a sort of gratification and putting me on a pedestal that, wow, mom is sacrificing her morning walk for us, therefore, oh, she's doing something so great, I start expecting from them, right? Then that's where the clutter comes. Because I have chosen to sacrifice because that relationship means something to me. Right? But when I start expecting, and I do it not because I want to, but because I want to look good and what others think of me is important, that's when the raita, so to say, is fell out in the brain, and that's when the clutter begins to happen. Relatable? Don't we all go through this tussle so many times in so many of our relationships? So, what I found out is that most of our relationships, I'm saying most and not all, are governed by three things. Okay? One is the fear at that, if I don't do this, I have the fear of losing that relationship. Second, I worry that what will the other person think if I behave in this fashion? What will the other person think if I don't behave like this? So we worry, again, worrying about others' opinion about us. Right? And the third one is, oh my God, that is the most difficult to deal with, and that is the guilt. When we choose to things that work for us, when we choose to do things that make us happy or are important to us, we are overridden by guilt. Like, for example, if I were to choose to go for a morning walk and then be rushed and not able to make all the elaborate items for lunch for my family, I am ridden with guilt. What a lousy mother I am, what a selfish mother I am. I am thinking about my own health and happiness, and I am not thinking about my family who deserves the best from me. Hey, but all these expectations and all these benchmarks, who has said? It's me. And why did I set these? Okay, I set these because I want them to feel that I'm so good. I want them to love me. I want them to acknowledge and appreciate me. But now, isn't it a trap or a clutter that I'm getting into? I love them, therefore I do something for them. And in doing that something, I am prioritizing and sacrificing something of my own liking. And now I want them to acknowledge it and make me feel special simply because I sacrificed. The whole story starts and ends with me. And then I'm on a guilt trip, or I'm in a fear, or I am worrying. So, are you realizing that all of this actually is a clutter because we don't know where it starts and where it ends, and we create this whole confusion and chaos for us? So, as a result, what happens? We end up with unfulfilled relationships, we end up with open ended relationships, we end up feeling lonely in relationships, we end up feeling not good enough, or we feel nobody cares how much I do for them. Why can't they see my love and care and how much I am putting into this relationship? Again, that is also something which is in my own emotional being. It's in my own feelings and emotions, and it has nothing to do with the other party who may be blissfully unaware of what's going on in my mind. So, net, in the end, what I have found out and I want to share with all of you is that whenever you get stuck in unfulfilled relationships, and whenever you start to feel that your relationships are governed by either fear or worry or guilt, it's time to step back and clean up this emotional clutter. And how would you do that? Start by the most basic of principles, and that is care for your own happiness. It's okay to give importance to things that make you happy, because what you have is what you will give. If you have happiness inside, you will be able to give the happiness. If you have contentment inside, you will be able to give contentment to all the relationships around you. You will give what you have, what's inside your cup. So it's all right to look after your own happiness. So start there, keep things simple, do things that make you happy, and not doing things in a relationship simply what others will feel about that, what others will think about that. No, it starts and ends with you. Right? So if you focus on this, then I think you are freeing yourself from the emotional clutter, and you're going to have more fulfilled relationships, more closed ended, healthy relationships, and you will be a happier person, I guarantee you. Try it and let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button if this video resonated with you. Write in your comments if you have some other thoughts and experiences. I would love to hear from you, and share it with others if you think it'll add some value to their lives as well. Click on the bell icon. It lets you know whenever I post a new video. And you take care of yourselves and be safe. Till we meet again next week with yet another video. This is SK signing off. Adios and bye bye.